Allora grazie. Pietrino, vieni. Mi è venuto in mente
Thank you.
questo, è un fuori
Pietro,
programma,
come up.
ma c'era un
Uh,
attimo di tempo allora. Pietro, noi lo
there is
continuiamo a
something
chiamarlo Pietrino
out of
perché quando è entrato in
the
comunità
program,
era
but I
ragazzo
thought about
giovane,
this.
come diciamo noi.
We still
Oggi è
call him
papà,
Pietrino,
sposo, papà di 3
but because
figli,
when he entered
è
in
un
community, he
artista
was
che ha
very young.
scoperto dei
But now
tentoni nelle sue mani,
he's a
nel suo
father,
cuore,
and he's an
soprattutto,
artist that he has
e ogni
discovered
anno
a
con il
gift with
gruppo che
his
viene da
hands and his
Medjugorje
heart. And every
partecipa alla
year,
festa della vita.
with the group that
Quest'anno
comes from
ha
Medjugorje,
dipinto il fondale che
and this
troverete nella
year he
cappella
has painted
dell'adorazione.
the
Continua da
backdrop
domani
of
mattina,
the
anzi per noi
Adoration
ragazzi da
Chapel.
stasera, stanotte,
And from
iniziamo
tonight,
l'adorazione
we will
continua
start the
proprio
adoration.
per chiedere al Signore
And
tante
during the
grazie
adoration,
che
we will
scendono nel
ask
cuore di tutti
for
voi.
all the
E
graces,
Pietrino ha
all the graces that
disegnato
will
il
come
fondale
down from God to your
della
heart.
cappella,
And
che
Pietrino
è simile a
drew
quello che ha disegnato nella cappella di Roma. Papa Francesco l'8 dicembre
drew
è
the
venuto
backdrop
per
of the
salutare la nostra
Adoration Chapel,
fraternità di
very
Roma
similar
e
to the one
benedire
he
una cappella che i ragazzi
did
hanno
in the
costruito con le loro
chapel
mani.
in our house in Roma
E
that Pope
Pietrino
Francis
nell'ultimo
visited
periodo è
last
stato a Roma e ha
December.
dipinto
And
questo buon
Pietrino
samaritano che porta
painted
un
the Good
disperato tra le
Samaritan
braccia,
who is carrying a
che
desperate
è anche il logo
in
della
his
festa della
arms.
vita di quest'anno.
That is
Allora,
also the
ci vuoi
logo
dire
of
qualcosa, Pietrino,
of the
a
Festival of
causa
Life
dei
of this
vari
year.
tumori che ha avuto in questi anni, non sente più.
Pietrino,
Fa fatica a
due to
sentire,
several
riesce ancora a
tumors and cancer
parlare.
that he has got,
Allora,
that he
se
had
ci
in the
vuoi dire
past years,
qualcosa,
he can no longer
porti nel
hear,
cuore
but
che ha
he can still
ispirato
talk.
questo tuo
So can you tell us
disegno di
about
fronte al
something
quale
that you have in
invito in
your
questi
heart
giorni a
that
trovare un
inspire
momento di
you
tempo
to
per
draw
stare davanti alla presenza del
our logo
Signore?
for
E
this year?
accanto alle reliquie di San Francesco, le porteremo questa sera nella processione, i frati di
During the
Assisi,
procession, we will
alcuni
bring the
sono
relics of
arrivati qui
St.
presenti,
Francis that are in
hanno
the chapel
concesso a
right
noi di
now.
avere una reliquia del manto nel quale San Francesco si
And the
avvolgeva.
Franciscan friars have allowed us to have a
Immergersi
relic
e lasciarsi
of the
avvolgere dall'amore di Dio.
mantle that
Allora,
St.
nella
Francis
cappella
used to
troveremo il buon
unwrap himself.
samaritano che ci accoglie, l'abbraccio della Chiesa.
So in the chapel,
Coronata
we
di
will
San
find the
Pietro
Good
sullo
Samaritan
sfondo,
that
che abbraccia la vita
welcomes
di
up
noi
the
disperati,
relics
e troveremo
of
proprio
St.
San
Francis
Francesco
of his mount, and
ci
we will find
accolge
next to that the
con
relics of St.
l'amore e la
Francis.
tenerezza con la quale ha avuto la sua amicizia con Dio.
And let's hear about, so
Saint Peter. Hello to everybody. From when we left for Rome, for this painting that we did in the Chapel of Rome, I remember that we wanted to go well, we wanted to start well. So we went to St. Peter, the Basilica. As soon as I entered into the Basilica, it was so big, beautiful. I felt very small like this. When I have to make a painting for the community that's beautiful, I come here. And so I felt right away, a little bit put down. And then I thought, I don't need to be a great artist to make a painting like this, because this painting is a little bit like our story. It's what we live here in the community, what was my past and what today is my future, and my present. What is my present and what is my future? And so I'm not an artist like it's written there, because I am a boy who learned by himself. My dad was an artist. I took a little bit of his hand. But I remember that when I entered into community, they gave me a task to make a painting for Mother Ravira, and it was a gift for her. And there I understood that I had this gift. I had never gone to school for it. So we were going to Rome, we were thinking about what we should do for the chapel, as the painting in the background. And we had thought to make Jesus, because the chapel of Rome, the community of Rome, is the community of the Good Samaritan. So we thought that of the parable of the Good Samaritan, this boy that's falling apart should be one of us. A boy with his jeans and his t-shirt that's ripped, that Jesus is holding in his arms. And behind it, the Basilica of of St. Peter. And back there's Jesus, and down by the bottom there's the darkness. Because I remembered, some years ago we had seen a big painting of the community. We had made these palaces that were gray, that were very sad, and they kind of remind you a little bit of the streets of our past. And so we made the painting. These buildings that are there, these are the shadows of the boys and girls of every person who's asking for help, from their darkness to the light. And a little bit of our story, of our past. And then I remember that when we were in Rome and I started painting, the most beautiful thing that was for me was to see the happiness of the boys in the fraternity that were living there. I remember that I had we had made also the Sacred Family, and then when I brought it, there were some people with tears in their eyes, and this touched me a lot because it's important, a chapel in the community. That you pray to an image that's beautiful, and I don't feel like I'm a great guy, but these paintings come pretty well that I paint. And so when Stefano asked me to come here to Saluto, and we thought, for the background of the chapel, that what are we going to leave here? And so Stefano gave us the idea to reproduce the picture in Rome, and this time, it's only 10 times bigger though, so 10 times bigger. I was a little bit. It was my biggest fear. But I began again, with peace. And then when I start painting something overall for the community, there's a chain of all the boys who are praying for me in the moments that I'm painting, and I feel the strength. My hands, my hands don't do that much. If you look at it. Some years ago, I was operated on a tumor in my arm, and this hand is kind of letting me go. It's abandoning me. Besides this, I'm able still to put like a piece of wood in between my fingers to be able to still paint, and it's kind of a miracle. And I think, I'm a poor man. I'm sick. I'm falling into pieces, but Jesus still uses me as an instrument. And so for me, this is something that's really great. And then we made some modifications to the painting that's in the chapel that I made. While I was painting it this time, I was alone. And I saw this boy. I reflected myself. I could see myself a lot in this boy. And when I was painting much more than when I was painting the painting for Rome, I've had tumors in various places of my body. And before beginning this adventure, I should have had an operation for another tumor. But now, it's staying there still. And, we keep calling because they should operate on me. But this doctor says, don't worry, wait. And in the meantime, I should be coming here to Saluto to do jobs. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And so then with Marco and Medjugorje, we said, what am I supposed to do? We have to film the movie, and I've got this tumor, and Saluto's afterwards, and so we put everything into the hands of the Lord. And while I was painting the painting, I started to feel Jesus that was holding me in His arms, of me, while I was painting it. And so I made a small modification. And for me, it's a great modification because this left hand, that's, reached out towards us. I made it a little bit for all of those who are praying, because it's not just the boy who's desperate, who's in need, who needs Jesus and Him holding him. I need Him for my fears, and I should be operated on these tumors, and Jesus is telling to me, don't worry. I'm holding you in my arms. I'm giving you my hand. You finish your jobs here, now. And then, afterwards. And in fact, He gave me time still and to go forward and to finish my jobs. And this is... And then I added also the boy there behind there on the ground in the darkness, you can understand that it's our lives, it's our badness from before, and that it's Jesus who's taking us by the hand, who's carrying us towards the light. And that's why I give thanks still to the community. I give thanks to Father Stefano because he gave me this possibility still. And I ask you guys for all your prayers, if you can, send a prayer my way. Because it makes a big difference.